Effective April 1, the national minimum wage is to be increased from $7,000 to $9,000 per 40-hour work week. Labour and Social Security Minister Karl Samuda says Cabinet approved the increase yesterday. Mr. Samuda made the announcement at a virtual press conference this morning. Vashon Brown has more.
The National Minimum Wage Advisory Commission submitted its report as far back as 2020 following consultations with stakeholders. But the Labour Minister, Karl Samuda, says at that time the pandemic was raging and the people were losing jobs. So with the country now on the path to economic recovery, Mr. Samuda says the government is now in a position to grant an increase in the minimum wage. Come April 1, the national minimum wage will move from $7,000 to $9,000 per 40-hour work week, a 28.5% increase. The minimum wage for industrial security guards will increase from $9,700 to $10,500 per 40-hour work week. There will also be an increase in the allowances payable to industrial security guards.
Firearm premium allowance will be increased from $48 to $51.95 per hour. The dog handlers premium allowance will be increased from $33 to $35.72 per hour.
Life insurance coverage with double indemnity protection and dismemberment coverage will also increase from $2.75 million to $2.976 million. It's been roughly a year since the National Minimum Wage Advisory Commission recommended the increase, and since then there have been renewed concerns about inflation. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin said point-to-point inflation was 9.7% for the 12 months up to January this year. The Labour Minister says in the face of rising prices, the government has other support mechanisms for the most vulnerable.
We distribute assistance to persons to assist them in many aspects of their lives: housing, education, down to very small business support, financial business support. We give packages for the indigent and so on. I understand what you're saying, that the time, just over a year or so, that has elapsed, and the movement has not reflected that from the time it was recommended. It all has to do with our interaction with the Minister of Finance, who in the final analysis is the main gatekeeper of the resources that we have to disperse.
Over the years, trade unionists have been calling for the government to move away from a national minimum wage to a livable wage. They say a livable wage would more realistically capture the amount of money people reasonably need to meet their basic needs. Chair of the National Minimum Wage Advisory Commission, Dr. Ronald Robinson, says the aim is to move in the direction of a livable wage.
Just so you know, Vashon, this issue of the livable wage is front and center at the discussions of the Minimum Wage Commission. And over the next couple of months, we will be engaging, and in fact, we have commissioned and engaged the services of competent individuals that from the university work with us to address some of these very fundamental issues that we're talking about. And you will see a series of meetings, consultations, hearings that we will be having public forum and in a public way on how to address and to deal with this livable wage.
The last time the minimum wage increased was in 2018. Vashon Brown, TVJ News.